Right, thanks for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. Let's get into sports a little bit. Now, English champions Leicester City have sacked manager Claudio Ranieri just 9 months after he won the English Premier League title. That's a lot of drama, if you ask me.
Okay, Leicester are currently just a point above the relegation places, having struggled for points on the domestic front this season. The club was also knocked out of the FA Cup by League One Millwall.
Now, last week, Leicester chairman Vichai Srivardhana Prabha, I wonder if I got that correct, but the chairman gave a vote of confidence on Ranieri. Now, Leicester lost 2-1 to Sevilla on Tuesday night in UEFA Champions League and have a bright chance of reaching the quarterfinal if they get a good result in the return leg. And let's play you this last interview following the Champions League match against Sevilla.
But now there is a Champions League, in Premier League. But now there is a Champions League. My priority is always the next match. We can lose, it's okay. Nothing happened. But if we win, if we do a very good game, something inside could change. We need one match like this. The league, the Premier League is priority when there is a match.
Right now is a football journalist, David Olayinka. He's right here with us in the studio. Many thanks for joining us today on TVC Breakfast. The really sad news, bad news, or mixed feelings for Leicester, who won the championship and just a point to relegation.
Yeah, good morning, good to be here.
It's really ironic and sad because just this time last year, they were the team everyone was...
Football journalist David Olayinka is right here with us in the studio. Many thanks for joining us today on TVC Breakfast. The really sad news, bad news, or mixed feelings for Leicester, who won the championship and just a point to relegation.
Yeah, good morning, good to be here.
It's really ironic and sad because just this time last year, they were the team everyone was talking about. Can they do it? Can they do the impossible? Can the fairy tale run continue? And it ended beautifully by them being crowned the Premier League champions. And just 9 months after that, it's gone pear-shaped for them, opposite. So it's really, really not surprising. Most of us who are in the football world didn't expect them to defend their title. Also with the accumulation of the Champions League and other games.
So last year was just a fluke? Is that what you're saying?
It seems like it. It seems like it. But they deserve to win it because the way they played like they wore their hearts on their sleeves. They played their hearts out every single game. Going to the King Power Stadium, which was their home ground, it was a fortress. Teams didn't go there to get points. They went there and they were dreading it because it was a formidable fortress for them. But this season, they can't even keep a clean sheet at home. So it's really bad. They haven't scored in 2017 at all. That is how bad it is.
All right, but first let me ask, the point there is Ranieri had done a good job. Someone would say that.
Yes.
But is there a justification to have him sacked when he worked magic last season?
Probably he's a victim of his own success because if he hadn't won it last season, nobody would have expected so much from him because they say too much is expected. I'll be surprised. I'm shocked at the sacking because they've never won the Premier League. He did the impossible for them. He's written his name in Leicester history. You go down as the first manager to ever win the Premier League for them. They might not win in another 100 years, but they remember Claudio Ranieri.
In another 100 years, that's so not fair.
But that's the reality.
But if they did it last season, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Well, if you look at the factors last season, they weren't in the FA Cup, they weren't in the EFL Cup, they weren't in the Champions League. They only had the Premier League to concentrate on. Now, because of their success, they went into the Champions League. They got knocked out of the FA Cup recently, knocked out of the EFL Cup. So all those things cumulated in that fact. That's extra games, more games for Leicester City. So they haven't been in a situation like this before. This is their first time and they crumbled.
Yeah, but let's look at Ranieri himself as a coach. He was the champion, the title they won last year. He won for Leicester last year. Was it like one in a lifetime achievement for him as well?
You could say it's not for Leicester. He's coached big teams in the past. He's always been the nearly man. They call him the Tinker Man because the way he always rotates his squad every time he's playing. When he was at Chelsea, he earned that name, the Tinker Man, back in 2004. The thing is, he's always come close. You saw him, he was at Valencia, he was at Monaco, he was at Chelsea. So he's coached in big teams, top teams with quality players, but he has just hasn't delivered at that stage. It was Leicester that he made the smallest club he would be coaching, and he made the biggest achievement of his career, winning the English Premier League with them. So he is not a bad coach, no doubt, because you don't go from hero to zero without paying your dues. He's been there for over 2 decades, coaching at the highest level. So this is just I don't want to say one-off thing, an unlikely or an unlucky run of form. That's what's costing the job right now.
All right, now Frank De Boer and Roberto Mancini have been listed as his replacement, but who amongst this, or who generally do you think can really replace Ranieri to really bring back the club again? Because they put themselves out there, and people who never really were hearing about Leicester before, you saw Leicester in a different light, and they want to see it like that going forward.
Yeah, the truth is they want the era or the aura of Leicester doing so well, the champions of England following them or flowing with them. But the sad truth is they're not a big club. They're just an average league team. So getting the likes of De Boer and Mancini, the high-profile coach who've paid their dues, who've done it as players and coaches, it would be a good one, but I don't see them delivering Leicester. My take on this is they should have stuck Ranieri. Yes, they're in the red zone right now, just a point above the relegation zone. Their priority right now should be survival in the Premier League. Before they won the league, they were almost relegated. He saved them from relegation the season before they won it, and the next season they went on to win it.
But
so
very many people are pessimistic that they would be in the relegation. What's your own opinion?
yeah, we expected this, to be honest, because of the number of more games they'll be playing this season, which they didn't get to play last season when they won it. So it's difficult for them, adjusting the players and everything. Yeah, you might say they lost a major player, N'Golo Kante, but they've got replacement. They've had more money to get more players. They've got better players this time around than they had last season. So that's not an excuse. But the sad truth is, it's just not working for them. It's just not working. So they just have to keep their fingers crossed. My opinion, they should have stuck Ranieri to the end of the season. 2-1 in the Champions League against Sevilla.
Perhaps they might just escape relegation.
Yeah, they might, because right now it's crisis mode. The guy coming in is in a panicky situation. He has to get them out of that relegation zone.
Because just 1 point. If you go and you lost, that's it.
That's it. So they can't even think of the Champions League right now. That's out of their... It's like daydreaming for them. So they just have to focus on getting out of that relegation zone. And do any of these coaches that they want to employ, being touted to link to the Leicester job, do they have a relegation experience? No. Ranieri has been there before and he's saved them. So why not stick with someone who's been there, who's done it? So in my own opinion, I don't think this is just crisis mode for them. I see them getting relegation with this one. Obviously, you have to blame the coach, because they said the two kind of coaches, those waiting to get hired and those just getting fired. So he'll get another job. But the truth of the matter is, yes, they fired him as a safety precaution, hopefully hoping that it will end the rot and the bad run of form. But I don't see that happening.
Okay, now let's get into. But before we even leave that, I want to concentrate on the players themselves. Yeah. Beside the manager, as the case may be, the players. We saw the spirit. We saw the passion. We saw the fight. We saw the energy last season, trying to ensure that they get, especially when they won the first, second, and everyone was saying, "Wow, Leicester is going somewhere," and all of that, as the case may be. But this time around, do we still see that passion, that energy, that struggle, that steam amongst the players, even without the manager?
That's the thing. It's ebbed away, because this was a team where, like a family last season, they fought for every point. They played as a unit. You could see the passion, all the tackles, all the shots, all the passes. It was bonding. They were bonding. They were one. But this season, even though Wes Morgan was solid for them last season, Robert Wood, they're flattering. They're just not doing so well. Jamie Hardy, who had the best season of his career last season, this season is struggling to get goals. So it's just, everything is ebbed away. They say when you get to the highest point, what remains is a decline. So it's easy to get to the top. Maintaining it, that's where the problem is. That's where the issue. So they don't have the stomach to maintain it.
All right, let's look at other Champions League qualification. Do they have any chance at all?
With Ranieri at the helm, I believe this game they played against Sevilla on Wednesday, during the week, was one of their best games, in my own opinion. Yes, they lost 2-1, but you don't go all the way to Sevilla and get an away goal. With the form you are in at this point in time, a point above the relegation zone in the EPL, wow. To me, that's a big result for them. But sacking Ranieri at this point in time is put the whole team in crisis mode, so they can't even concentrate. So I don't see how they're going to survive that second leg at the King Power Stadium. They're playing this weekend again. They need to get the win. Right now, it's in crisis mode. Yes, the players would want to strive and ensure that they impress the new coach coming into the team to try and like stake a claim for their places in the squad. But at the end of the day, they should just have stuck to this into the end of the season. Like, okay, you know what, Claudio, you won the league last season. Yes, it was amazing. Now we're facing reality. We might get relegated. We need you to get us out of this situation. We're putting faith in you.
All right, but on the other hand, Claudio Ranieri, do you think that he should have just resigned when that ovation for him was standing tall? Do you think it would have been nice for him to resign at that time?
Yeah, it would have been ideal. That's how idealistic, how ideal it would have been. But we're all human beings. When we get to that point, we feel that yes, we can go better, we can go higher.
So go higher.
If he had left, and then this run of form that said, if I was dead, I wouldn't have been going through this. So you know, it's a bit of both. So we can never tell. But he's done a good job. No disrespect. I mean, the rest of the colleagues respect him a lot. We saw him win an award by with what Leicester did last season. Nobody gave them a chance, and they went all the way. That surprised everyone.
All right, let's come back to African football one way or the other. We hear the FIFA president is planning to meet with all FAs FA chairman on the African continent. What dimension do you think they want to talk about?
Yeah, fair enough. About the CAF presidency, obviously. Then also we're hearing that Africa wants 10 slots at the enlarged World Cup from the 5 that we've gotten up at this point in time. To be a good one, they can get to rub minds with Infantino, and Infantino is part of the new generation, the young order, which is a breath of fresh air in FIFA, outside the likes of the Sepp Blatter, Issa too, and what they have. So him meeting with the FA chairman is like, wait, want to chat forward. This is FIFA's rules. I mean, FIFA's plans and schedule for the future. This is how you can fit in. So they rub minds and everything. The interesting story coming out from that is the Amadou Pinnick. We've seen him pitting tents with Ahmad, the FA Cup, Madagascar and FA chairman. So that's the bread of the new order, that they want a change in CAF, that Ayatu has been there for over 2 decades, since 1988, and the man doesn't want to relinquish the position. He just wants to keep on being there. Probably they should just make him life president and say no more elections in CAF, because it's just a mere formality. But this time around, he's seeing Ahmed as a big competitor, so he's worried about it. So,
but in this case, when Nigeria and South Africa are aligning, you think is this going to be a strong force against Hayatu?
It is a big force. South Africa is one of the biggest FAs on the continent. Nigeria, one of the biggest football teams on the continent.
Hayatu is already threatened, like you said the last time you were here, by the South African Simile rebellion.
Yeah. The COSAFA group or the COSAFA region, they've decided they're going with Ahmed. That's a stronger core in CAF. So what they need is just the backing of probably 2 big West African FAs, and the job is almost done. Yeah, it's got a fair level running, because as it stands right now, Ayatu is always unopposed, no contest, anyone coming up against him. But right now, they've done their assignment or their homework well, and they believe that this is the next man to get us there. The reason why he said that Ayatu is like a colossus. He decides what he wants to do, especially when it comes to hosting the competitions, the CAF competitions. Single-handedly.
Okay.
All right, David Olayinka, thank you very much for coming on the program right now.
Thank you for having me.
Right. This is where we come to the end of today's edition, and even the week's edition of the program. It's going to be a wonderful weekend for you and for everyone. On Monday, we'll be back again. But have a great weekend ahead. I am Mike Okwache.
And I am Busola Mijoasha. Bye-bye for now.